And now, MCI, Academy of the Arts, Sciences, Skincare, and Hair Removers. All inventions may apply. Get your degree at the School of Mega Millions Selling Stuff.
That's right. Get your degree at the Mega Millions School of Selling Stuff. Beside me here, we have Kiwi sitting in for John Cremans. And talking about going to a school to learn how to sell Mega Millions selling stuff, Kiwi here is an inventor, and he has an invention, and he's out there digging trenches trying to move his invention. And I thought this academy, we'd talk about what it's like to be in the trench, those first few steps that entrepreneurs and inventors and business people take to make their businesses work. First of all, Kiwi, what is your invention?
So I created lazy buns, and that's the word lazy, and the last four is buns, B-U-N-Z, and it's basically, I replaced the life jacket, I replaced the noodle, and I gave you a mat that basically shapes around your leg and you sit and float in the beach, the ocean, the sandbar. So I took what America's pastime was floating and hanging out and being lazy on the weekend,
Right.
and I put something between their legs. That's the best way to say it. You
Right.
sit and float and hang out.
And if you've seen lazy buns, it's super cool. I mean, I can just
It
see
works.
it in my pool, or I do a lot of things on the water. We like sailing. We like being on the sup boards, the paddle boards. We love being in the pool. And so you just put this between your legs there, and you can float around, chill out, relax, have your favorite refreshment, enjoy the sun and your family, and just have a good time.
Yeah, it's all, it's more about, for us, it was living the lazy life. It's about being family, being with family, cherishing those moments and stuff like that. But I really noticed that what people did, and that's one of the things about being an inventor. You want to solve a solution,
Right.
You want to solve that problem, but you got to look around. You can't always just think of an idea and grab it. You got to see, is this going to sell? What's it going to do? How's it going to work? Who's going to make it? There's a lot of questions. There's a lot of answers, a lot of headaches, and a lot of coffee to get this off the
a lot
ground,
of coffee. So you've invented your product. What I wanted to talk about in this academy is I was hearing your Bed Bath & Beyond story and your West Marine story, and it's crazy. What did you do when you first had this invention? You were looking for reps, and no one was returning your phone calls, and you were calling people, and it's not easy to get the Bed Bath & Beyond phone, the buyer on the phone, and the West Marine buyer on the phone. We were talking to inventor Mike earlier. He's going to have a hard time getting the Home Depot buyer on the phone. What did you do?
So, I knew you had to use the chain of command. You couldn't really go to the top because there's so many people that will stop you. And
Chain of command.
Yeah,
right.
Chain of command. And I wanted to respect people as I went up. So the first thing I did was I got the product made. I found a company in Texas, so it's American made, and said, can you make me a few? I want to test it. So I went to boat shows and trade shows.
Trade show.
Yeah, trade shows.
Tell everybody, go to trade shows. And so what you did, all right.
Well, but here's the thing. No one wants to spend $1,000. And I thought, I'm going to spend $1,000 because it's better to lose 1,000 than 10,000.
That's the rent, right? The rent.
So I went out there and I knew.
Nut, as we call it.
I knew that my float is $44.99.
Right.
So I thought, I'm going to sell it for $35 at the boat show, $300-$400 and so on. If someone's more likely to pull out a $100 bill, spend half of it on beer and hot dogs, and still have enough money to buy my product, I would have proof of concept, and I would have, like you said, $4,000 or $5,000 in the kitty and cash and checks and credit cards at the end of the day.
Right.
So I then took that to the local swim mart and swim city and said, hey, I'm an inventor, and I don't know how you guys work with inventors, but I have a product that sells. Can I give you a sample? Can I put a box of these in the store?
So you would have put them on consignment at the local. Not the chain store, but kind of the local seller of these floating swimming paraphernalia devices.
Well, I asked them about that because I
okay.
said, I'll put these in there because, when you start talking consignment, a lot of stores want consignment because they don't know you. They don't want to put money in and invest something. So I said, let me put them here. So anyway, we'll put them there, and then my buddy went in and bought them.
Oh, really? Oh, what?
So that
hold on. So you padded the sales of these things?
So that got it going because then they said, hey, bring us more. So went more, and then it sold. We started sending a lot of people from the boat shows and the trade shows. So they said, okay, we're going to be selling. We don't want to carry it on the plane. We don't want to take it with us. There was always excuses that people at boat shows and trade shows didn't want to carry the product away.
Right.
So there was that 10%. So we said, go to Swim Mart, go to Swim City, go in there and buy it from them.
So you were doing marketing that was taking customers into the store. Very smart.
Yeah. So they were buying.
Right.
So then I went to West Marine and said, look, just, and West Marine, like you talk, West Marine and Bed Bath & Beyond, their managers, their store managers have to sort of get with everyone around the town because there's certain items
connect with the community, right?
Yeah, connect with the community. So they said, yeah, we'll try it. And then it just went further and further. Meanwhile, I was going around to every swim mart. I was going around every lazy pool.
You're knocking on doors.
Knocking on doors.
All right.
Because here's the thing. I said, my name is Kiwi. I'm from New Zealand. I have a product, and it's made in Texas. And you know the company, the manufacturer is Texas Rec. And they said, okay, sure. I knew every one of them would call up and say, there's a guy with an accent trying to sell me a product that you make.
Right.
And they'll say, yeah, that's Kiwi. You love it. So I knew they were all going to call. So they called the manufacturer, and the manufacturer said, yeah, we can sell it to you. So we started going into Leslie pools. Then we started going more West Marines.
So you're adding to this distribution cycle. So you're building out your footprint, as they call it.
Yeah.
So you're knocking on doors, digging the trench, going to the footprint. Tell me about the Bed Bath & Beyond story, because that really, really got me.
So, there's many stories of that one. But I started with all the managers and stuff, and I ended up meeting people, and I actually went on to LinkedIn. And I found a lot of the buyers, and I started sending them emails, and no one really gave me a chance.
So you're stalking them, basically.
In a good way.
Professionally stalking.
Yeah,
that's what you're doing.
I wanted to. Time is one thing we can't change. So
Correct.
I didn't want to spend hours and years talking to the wrong person. So I found all the buyers, and I sent them emails. I sent them samples, and you never know. I got an email back from a lady saying, "Hey, I think this is cool." And I said to her, "Look, I'm not here to waste your time. Could you point me in the right direction?" That's all I asked. And she did, and I met this guy. I drove across town. I met with him. I gave him a sample. Said, look, just take it, look at it, use it. If you love it, if you're going to do the thumbs up or the thumb down, just be honest and tell me. He goes, I love it. And then it started expanding. And then I had a company in Osage Beach called me up, the manager, and said, can you fly out and come and see me? And I looked at it and thought, okay, that's $1,500 that I've got to try and scrounge
out of your pocket, yeah,
to fly out there to sell a box of 6 or 8 lazy buns that he bought.
Right.
I'm thinking, okay, well,
that doesn't work.
The math doesn't work. There's no way.
Return on investment's not there.
But I said that's the difference between making it and not. So I flew out there, and within 3 hours of drinking coffee and talking to him, we now have increased into 1,200 retail stores.
Nice.
Within a year.
So there's an inventor digging the trench, apparently drinking a lot of coffee. Have you noticed a lot of coffee going on? So you're out there in airplanes, getting out there.
Yep.
That's the success story. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're an inventor, if you're a business owner, it doesn't change, right? Everybody has to get out there. I can tell you a similar story by going to all kinds of trade shows and gun shows and all kinds of stuff. And you heard the story when you go to Home Depot, you're sitting up displays and Costco in the trench and before you get a break. And it sounds like Kiwi here is just about to get that break. So you got into the Bed Bath & Beyond stores, right?
Yeah, actually, right now we did a whole lot of banners and stuff that we're going into what they call an in-store. And I'm just trying to get a grasp on it all. But it's basically they want to create a Lazy Buns store inside their store. So we're going to have buns all the way down the side and across the back. We're going to have TV screens and show it. But, I had to tell them, I had to coach them a little bit because they just wanted to put the product on the rack. And I said to them, we have to play the video, the DVD, because when you go to a boat show and a trade show and at HSN and stuff like that, the Home Shopping Channel, it's all through seeing things.
Right.
And you can tell people about your product all day long and they'll see it and they'll know. But no one really gets it. So now we're putting videos in and all the buyers are on board. They love it. We even set up a program that all the store employees can buy the Lazy Buns at a discounted rate through the store so they can use it and test it because
they talk about it.
Well, they're the best promotion. So,
right.
But you got to get out there. You just got to get out there and say, hey, this is who I am, and be honest and be straightforward to these people. And they love that American dream. They love that fact that, hey, you're willing, because everyone can dig trenches. It's whether you get up.
Seriously, he's right, because people love success stories. That's why Shark Tank's so successful.
Yep.
That's why all these inventor programs are so successful, because the truth is, we want to see somebody win, right? It's a very happy thing. We want to see somebody win. We love the success story. That's what My Cool Inventions is all about. We love it when an American inventor wins. So how long has it taken you between the time you came up with the first manufactured unit to today? How much time has passed between then and now?
I'm in my 4th year right now.
All right, so it's not a get-rich-quick program, obviously. So how many have you sold in the last 4 years?
Oh, a ton.
A ton? So, yeah. Was it a graph that started slow and then went up higher? Or
well, we went to, the first year was pretty much thinking about patterns and thinking
Right.
about ideas and concepts like that. And this is one thing that I knew from experience, and I'd done a lot of research. I thought, I'm not going to rush out there, because when I spoke to a lot of inventors, they were all broke because they were
It's true.
spending $6,000 to $10,000 on a patent. I'm like, has anyone seen it? Yeah, my family, my cousin, my auntie. Oh, no. So I got a provisional patent. And
Right.
I went out to 5 boat shows in the first year, and I sold it. And by the time I got to the end, I'd made $80,000.
Nice.
And guess
Love
what? I had about 30 or 40 of them come back to me because the handles were ripping.
Oh, so you got some good feedback.
So I went back to the manufacturer and said, let's reinforce the handles.
Because they were ripping. All right.
Went back and said, okay, this is good. Did it for 6 months, and then I went for my patent at that point.
Give me 2 sentences. What would you tell every inventor out there in that when they're first inventing it and they're wanting to get their product out the market? What is your best advice?
Come on a show like this for sure. No, seriously, because this is where you're going to get it. Because your family, your friends, they're all going to say, hey, this is great. This is good. They're going to put a little bit of sugar on that donut for you
Right.
and say it's great. But when or if you get some prototypes made, get 50 or 100 and go out to a boat show, trade show. I mean, Mike should go out to a home show,
Yeah.
because that's where people are, and just get their honest opinion.
Well, you heard it there from Kiwi. Thank you so much for that sage advice. A young guy like you has got a lot of sage advice going on there. I think
I'm 43. I look young.
I think you've drank a lot of coffee and you're putting
You
the
have
miles
to.
on the car.
You have to.
Listen, that's our best advice. Get out there, dig the trench, get out there and just get that product going. And listen, if you're an inventor, what are you waiting for? Go to mycoolinventions.com right now, submit your product, get on this program, get the ball moving. You've heard it right here. We got plenty more coming up after the break. My Cool Inventions Network.